To start things off, what was your first exposure to the Book of Mormon?
Well, I actually have not seen the show until I was hired and have done all of my rehearsals. I wasn't very well traveled before I got this job, so I was pretty Tennessee situated. I went to an open call to get the show and had no expectations at all. It was like in the middle of the school day. They actually pulled me out of college. 2 or 3 weeks later, I had the job. I knew the soundtrack. I was a musical theater student, so I feel like half of my MO was knowing as many shows possible and the soundtracks for them. So I was familiar with it, but never seen it. My very first experience was at the Eugene O'Neill Theater, sitting on the trash can, after I'd learned the role and learned all of the music and worked on it for about a week and a half. So it was pretty cool.
How does it now feel to be a part of it?
Oh, I feel so incredibly privileged and blessed. I'm a part of a very special company. We're very much so a family, and we adore each other, and I think that's really special, and it doesn't happen a lot, especially on a show of this caliber. We have a very strong and large following for the show as well. I've met some fans who become friends of mine, so it's been a really cool experience, like way better and more than I ever expected having the job, you know?
Let's talk about one of your directors, Casey Nicholaw, who now has 3 shows running on Broadway: Book of Mormon, Aladdin, and Something Rotten, and has Tuck Everlasting coming in the spring. What is he like to work with?
He is one of the warmest, most kind men I've ever been. I did my auditions in New York with him. I think half of my charm that got me this role is that I'm so incredibly green, and I don't know any of these big names of directors and stuff. So when I met him, I knew he was Casey Nicholaw, but I didn't know he was the Casey Nicholaw. I was very, very genuine and goofy, regular me, and I think that charmed him a bit. He recently came out to this cleanest show. We were keeping the integrity and everything, and I got to work with him a lot more when he visited, and he's just so nice and so passionate and is a genius and knows how to tell you how to do something in such a way that it makes so much sense that he only need to tell you once. He can give you a suggestion, and it's oh my gosh, why wasn't I thinking of that the entire time? He's a joy, and I totally get why he's so successful.
You guys are actually going to be in Durham for the new year, so how exciting does that seem to you?
I've never been to Durham. I'm going to trust my cast to plan something fun to do, because these 2 weekends especially, unless I know the city, I'll spend a couple of days sightseeing, but otherwise I'm pretty much in my hotel room trying to just, reserve my voice, and I'll work out at the hotel. I mean, I spent New Year's with my cast last year, and it was a lot of fun. We were in Orlando, so that's a little different from Durham, It's going to be fun. I'm sure we'll find something fun to do, and New Year's with them is always a lot of fun. We're quite the group. Wherever we are, we'll find something to get into,
Kind of fitting you guys were in Orlando last year, because that's where Elder Bryce wanted to go.
Yeah, I know. The show was amazing there. The audience, it was like being in a rock concert. Every time he said Orlando, they would freak out. It was, oh my goodness, maybe one of my favorite places to see the show being done.
What inspired you to become a performer?
I've been very into music since a very young age. My dad has video recordings of me 5 years old in my Reno Renata Rosie dress, that's what I called it, and my cowboy boots, singing Whitney Houston in front of the fireplace, giving concerts since I was 5. I started taking classical voice when I was 13 in Memphis. I'm with Dr. Sandra Franks, who teaches at Rhodes College. I was with her from age 13 to age 18 and was very into opera and classical music, which ended up stemming to musical theater. I just always had the bug, There's never been anything else in the world that I've ever wanted to be than a performer.
Are there any dream roles you'd love to pursue in the future?
Yes, I'd love to be Mimi and Rhett one day. It was a show that kind of got me interested in musical theater. It's my dream role for sure, my ultimate dream role is Mimi. I mean, there's always, Wicked. I'd love to be either Glinda or Elphaba. All of those musical theater nerd. Hamilton, oh my gosh, Hamilton. I'm obsessed with Hamilton. I listen to all the time. I'd love to be any of the three girls. Renee, Elise Goldsberry, she's one of my biggest idols. Audra and her are my musical theater crushes, you know, just like their careers in general are just what I want mine to be one day. Those shows are my top three, I think. Rent, Wicked, and Hamilton.
Is there any advice you'd like to give to any aspiring young performers out there?
Just to practice, practice, practice. That's all the control we have. I'm learning that in this business. The only thing you really have control of is your talent. To hone it as much as you can. Like go to dance classes and get the voice lessons and do your research and learn as much music as you can and make as many connections as you can, because the other part, the getting the job, is so completely out of our hands. It's simply being in the right place and being what the people in the room need you to be at that second. Getting in the room is your talent, but getting the job is so circumstantial that you have to remember that even if you don't get the gig, it speaks nothing of your talent. It just means that someone else happened to sing this note just right, or they've seen someone else do a role. Reminds them of this one, whereas, you know, they don't know you and they know the other person, like that'll be the deciding factor of getting a job. Just to have as much control over your talent as you possibly can, because that's all we have. To just really take that into mind. That's my advice.
Candace, I thank you very much for devoting your time to this interview, and I wish you all the best of luck with the Book of Mormon.
Thank you so much. Have happy holidays.
You too.